Tip number 1, it's always safer to take off less than too much. Start off by drawing an imaginary line from the top of your sideburn to the top of your mouth where it would meet your mustache. You can easily create this line using a white pencil or a cheap beard tool, something like Beard Buddy. Then use a regular razor, shaver, or something like the Philips OneBlade to get rid of all the hair above that line. And make sure you maintain that line regularly, else you're going to lose sight of that line and then you're going to have to start all over from scratch. I do this every morning with a very old Philly shave and it works just fine.
I use a Philips OneBlade and that works pretty well. And if you have asymmetric growth on both cheeks, you have two options. Use the lowest common denominator or follow your natural cheek lines and keep them well groomed.
If you're enjoying this video so far, give it a like because it'll really help out the channel.
So the first week I grew my beard was nothing special as I'd done it before, but week 2 and week 3 were a real test of patience. It was incredibly itchy and I didn't know what to do, and I really considered shaving it off. Completely ran out of patience. Was that the same with you, Kevin?
Very recognizable, and that's when I found out that the itchy phase is an actual phase you go through. It goes away after about 2 to 3 weeks though, and it really separates the men from the boys. So what's happening is when the beard hairs are initially short, they stick out from the skin, but as it grows longer, it starts laying flat on your skin. But because your skin isn't used to it and beard hairs are coarse, it's going to cause that irritation and itchiness. This is what most people either forget or go too far with. It can look really scruffy if not maintained, and if you go too far, you risk showing off that double chin, which by the way is another added benefit of wearing a beard. So how far should you take the neckline? Well, a handy rule of thumb is take 2 fingers, place it above your Adam's apple, and that's the line you should use. So draw a line from there and get rid of the hair underneath that. It's always safer to take off less than too much, so start slow. You can also take a guardless trimmer, again, like the Philips OneBlade, and use it to make cuts into the beard. So as you go along, you make a cut for the line, and then you know exactly where that line is going to be, and then you can just shave the hair below that line off. So if you keep those cheek lines and the neckline cleaned up and maintained, you're pretty much good to go for the first month of your beard growth, and do that while still looking pretty decent. Like mentioned previously, around the 2 to 3 week mark, most people are going to go through that itchy phase. To make this phase more bearable and to set yourself up for the future beard life, it's time to invest in beard oil.
We've linked the products we like below that like button if you want to buy them and also help out the channel a little bit in the process. So I bought my first bottle of beard oil just like last week, and my 3-year-old son tells me, "Daddy, something doesn't smell very good. I think it's you." So a word of caution, don't use more than 2 drops for a beard like mine.
That's right, Rowan. Beard oil comes in small quantities but lasts you forever. Just 2 to 3 drops is perfectly enough for most beards. And here's the kicker. Beard oil isn't actually for your beard. Kind of. So after showering, rub a few drops in between your hands and apply it to the skin underneath your beard, right? And with any oil left on your hands, rub it together again and apply it to your beard and to your mustache. That's all. Beard oil is so good for you, you could even just apply it to the skin as well. Maybe the skin that you've just shaved. So applying beard oil to the skin underneath your beard ensures that the skin doesn't dry out, stays moisturized, and keeps the beard hair soft. And remember, avoid buying oils which contain ingredients or chemicals ending in -ate, and go for natural ingredients like cedar, argan, jojoba, sandalwood, etc. After you've made up your mind and stopped shaving, the first thing you're going to realize is that hair starts growing in places you don't want it, like high up on the cheeks or really low down the neck, and hair that doesn't want to grow in certain places, like weak areas around the cheek or underneath the lower lip, and that's pretty normal. But all I can say is that you don't know if it's a weak area until you give it the time to grow. Think of it as a grass field. When the grass is short, you're going to be able to see the soil underneath. But as the grass grows, it's going to cover the soil underneath. If there are no hair follicles even after this, then it just might be your genes, unless your hormones are still developing.
So no, shaving frequently does not make your hair grow faster. Also, don't believe any beard serums, pills, or other treatments. They'll only do more harm than good in the long run. You can never go wrong with the basics for healthy hair growth. Good food, good exercise, get good rest, and have plenty of water. And at the end of the day, the shape of your beard may be entirely down to something you can't control, your genes.
Well, if you've come this far and you're still watching, then we haven't ruined your dreams of growing a beard. As you get past your first month of growth, you'll start experiencing some new things.
As the hair gets some length, make sure to comb it after applying beard oil using a saw-cut comb, wooden comb, or boar bristle brush to spread the oil. Cheap machine-cut combs can tug on your hairs and pull them. Combing your beard also trains it to grow in a certain direction and gets rid of any dirt stuck in your beard. Apart from dirt, even food is likely to get stuck, which means certain foods you've been enjoying aren't going to be the same anymore. Food like chicken wings, cotton candy, spaghetti, burgers aren't going to be the same at all. Eating food with a beard is a whole separate video, so let us know in the comments below if you want to see that.
As the beard grows, you're going to start noticing it on your face. The mustache is something you're going to want to maintain since you're going to notice it around your mouth. So one way to do that is to take a comb and use the smaller end and comb down the hairs onto your mouth. Once you've done that, you grab a pair of scissors and you cut along the contours of your upper lip. But you can leave the ends of the mustache if you want to grow it out that way. But if you want to go for a serious, thick handlebar mustache, then you're going to have to trim those mustache hairs a little differently. Leave a comment down below if you want a video on that. You generally want your beard to grow downwards and not sideways. But as your sideburns start to grow, you're going to have to maintain them and trim them down. But for detailed instructions, check out the trimming video that we did using the Philips OneBlade.
What do you use to wash your beard? No, seriously, you need a specific beard wash or shampoo for this. Are you realizing that wearing a beard is a time-consuming and expensive hobby? Because it is. The reason you can't use normal soap or shampoo is that they're generally much harsher and the skin on your face is much more sensitive. Make sure to rinse out that product thoroughly from your beard.
If you've known us or you followed the channel for a while, you've probably noticed a lot of looks on us. No beard, stubble, unkempt beard, long hair, short hair, afro, good Indian boy comb over, mob slick back, preppy long hair, and even the straight out of prison buzz cut.
Subscribe if you want to keep seeing our changing faces.
Most guys who start No Shave November start shaving right after it's done. But I continued and found comfort in not having to shave. And before I knew it, it was growing longer and longer, and I had no idea how to maintain it. The beard was growing in all directions, sideways, into my mouth. Ew. There were mixed opinions at the time. Some people said I looked scruffy, and some people said it really suited me.
A quick look at our comments show that approximately 80% of the comments on our channel are about Kevin's beard, even if the video is about headphones or Bluetooth or something completely unrelated. So I think you're netting a positive there, Kevin. I don't have a lot to add there, except that I notice a lot more gray hair on my beard, even more than my head hair. So that is something that you may want to keep into account when you're approaching a certain age.
We've shot this video during the Corona pandemic, and naturally, you might be worried that having a beard might make it worse. While you don't need to shave off your beard because of Corona, there are a few things to keep in mind. All those images and articles you see are for people who need to wear face masks. If you need to, then you need to be clean shaven, else it's not going to be effective. And if you're someone who touches your face and your beard a lot, then you're gonna have to be extra careful when you go outside, because particles can get stuck in your beard a lot easier than if you're clean shaven. Alright guys, well if you follow these basic tips, you're good to go on your beard journey. And remember, when in doubt, grow it out. There's nothing that beats time and patience, especially in times like these. You just found a new hobby.
And we win DHRNE.